Guys, what's going on? Zach here, undergroundstrength.tv. Thanks for tuning in to another Q&A. This is a cool question. It came in through the Instagram, and wanted to make sure I took the time to answer this. One of the guys that messaged me is training for Ranger selection, to be an Army Ranger. Now, you might be asking, Zach, how are you able to talk about training for the military? You've never been in the military. You're not a Ranger. You've never been in any branch of the military. We've actually had, since the beginning, I remember when I first opened up the Underground Strength Gym, had a guy come through getting ready for OCS. Had another one of our college wrestlers going to the Marines. We've had a lot of guys come through the gym prepping for military, they're on leave, they come to the gym to train, and they train with us, side by side with our athletes. They especially love to train with the wrestlers. One of the most badass guys we ever trained was training for Ranger selection and became one of the instructors for selection. And when he came to us, he was following more of a bodybuilding program. So he looked big, but he would tend to gas out, lose muscular endurance, lose strength endurance during the workout. He lived about 4 or 5 miles away, so it was pretty often he would actually run to the gym or ruck to the gym. He'd oftentimes get there 20 minutes before our actual training began, and then he did what we called an appetizer workout. So before we even began working out, he'd get there and he'd start dragging sleds, flipping the tires, throwing the kettlebells, basically taking himself through like a 20-minute, quote unquote, functional type of workout with all kinds of objects and body weight mixed in. Then he would do the workout with us, and as his fitness and toughness escalated and elevated, which it did very quickly, and he had a very unique edge, I will certainly say that. I mean, we believed he was straight up crazy. So while our guys would do a workout, let's say it's a leg day and we're doing, 7 sets of 3 reps of box squats and box jumps. He would do the box squat, he would do the box jump, then everybody else would rest a minute or two, then he'd be doing muscle ups, kettlebell swings, kettlebell lunges. He did not like to rest. He was very aggressive. Then we would maybe go on and do kettlebell or dumbbell splits, Bulgarian split squats with kettlebell swings. He would do those 2 exercises, then he'd sprint a lap around the gym next door, sprint 2 laps around the gym, bang out, 10 clapping push-ups. He did all of these things in between, so it was like he doubled, tripled, quadrupled the workload, which we didn't say this is what you should do, but mentally, that's the level he was at, building himself into this unbreakable badass. So he would train with us 3 or 4 times a week, and then on the days that he wasn't training with us, he was running, rucking, and I actually had him lay off of all that running. He was starting to build up to like 6 miles, 8 miles, really building up high volume running. I said, brother, let's just do one. Why don't you just do one volume run day, a distance run. The other days, do different kinds of sprint work or do your rucking so you're not beating the crap out of your body. And I remember he said when they were going through I don't know the terminology, but he said they spent several days out in the woods and they had to do this pretty long hike where it's you and somebody else and they put somebody on the stretcher and it's like miles and miles of carrying the guy. And he said he did not feel tired at all, whereas other guys, their grip was giving out, their back, their legs, they were feeling exhausted. So his level of physical fitness was extremely high. Now the question coming in was, how should I train? Should I follow Travis Mash's squat everyday program? Because he wanted to build up his squat. He wanted, I think, like a 405 squat, 500 deadlift, 225 power clean. These things are extremely doable. They're doable by many CrossFit type athletes who weigh about 175 pounds. But if you're training for Ranger selection, I would reach out to other guys who have been there, done that, see what kind of training they've done. The guy that trained with us, he did those 3 or 4 workouts with our athletes, predominantly a lot of wrestlers. So we did the strength endurance, power endurance, then we always had a finisher circuit. Then on his own, I always said, you got to do mobility, do the 1 day of your distance mileage running, and then do, other kinds of cardio type activity to prep yourself mentally for what you're going to go through. And he loved it. And then one of our college wrestlers who went into the Marines, I remember when he was going through training, he said, I basically take first and second place in every single PT test, and I just love it. And he was in great shape, and that was exactly how he trained. He would wrestle, and then he would lift with us 2 or 3 days a week. Same way. So if you followed any of our workouts, let's say it's, we might do a full body workout. So it might be something like kettlebell snatch coupled with pull-ups or rope climbs, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Then we're going to do 4 sets of various carries, keg carry, kettlebell rack or rack and suitcase carry, dumbbell farmer walk, then a sandbag carry. And those are going to be about 150 feet. Then we're going to do sleds coupled with back extensions. Then we might say, now you got to do 50 push-ups with a 20-pound chain as fast as possible. Then do 50 band pull-aparts, overhand, underhand. Then do 50 reps of mixed ab work. So we put in full body training, and then we have days that are more upper focused and lower focused. But each day, this is, I found, one of the best things that we've done, not just for the athletes, but the guys in military law enforcement, is lots of sled work, whether it's a prowler, sled drag, forwards, backwards, power walk, sprint, doing just one set, doing it for time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, doing the suicides where you go down 25 feet and back, 50 feet and back, 100 feet and back. So a lot of the sled work I found has been tremendous. And also, there's times where we want you to train optimally so you're well recovered, but there's also plenty of times where we need you to, kind of overreach and break through, because nothing going through any of these special selection type training, whether it's military or not, there's nothing optimal about it. So, our guys that are going into law enforcement, every time they come back, they say, we're getting they're trying to break us down. So a lot of it is mental. So we don't want to always train perfect. And that's when I talk about blending of science with hell. So I hope that helps you out. That guy trained with us 3-4 days a week. I'll give you a sample workout that we always tell the story. This guy's name was Vic. And we had another kid we trained. We called him Running Man because he was a fucking running machine. In 8th grade, the kid broke the 5-minute mile in 8th grade. So he's going to Division I college this fall on a running scholarship. He's an extremely tough kid, and I was like, oh, perfect. Running Man is here. Running Man is going to break Victor. Victor would always smoke everybody else, kicked everybody's ass. I was like, Running Man is the guy to do the job. He's going to fuck up Victor. So Victor, I said, Vic, what are you training today? Running Man's going to train with you. He did 8 rounds of 8 reps. So it was like trap bar deadlift, 8 reps, pull-ups, 8 reps, handstand push-up, 8 reps, sled drag, 150 feet, quarter-mile run. 5 things, 8 rounds, and he smoked the Running Man. I think he was 2 rounds ahead of the Running Man. Running Man never quit. I'll hand it to that kid. He may have been a junior at the time, so he's probably 15, 16. But I thought that his engine would just handle the running. I said, oh, you're going to run? This will be great. And Victor did not stop. He was fucking crazy. There were even times where he showed up to the gym drunk. Coming from a gentleman establishment, I remember he showed up drunk and walked into the gym and started doing muscle-ups and 70-pound kettlebell snatches. So there's got to be some craziness upstairs for you guys to get through those brutal selections. Do some research on what it takes to get through Ranger School. I'm sure it's out there. And I don't know if the Squat Everyday program is going to be exactly what you need, but I guarantee you that you could use a good chunk of it to build yourself physically and mentally, because there's going to be a big psychological aspect in Travis's Squat Everyday program. So hope that helps you out. Gave you some sample workouts, gave you some experiences with some of our military guys. And if you believe you could do it and you do the training, then you will earn it. You will get it. All right? Good luck. And those of you that are new here or not, click the links below in this YouTube video. Subscribe. Share it out with your friends. There's a lot of free resources below. And I'm looking forward to helping you guys out. Peace.